everybody back to our podcast for Minecraft. We're here with Turnip, Gina. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I think I'm here. Yay! Episode 13, 14. I totally remembered.
Yeah, part 13 and 14 of the Shadow of Israphel, but it's episode 21 of this endeavor of ours.
What the
our
shit?
endeavor,
21?
our undertaking.
Yeah.
Dude, like the meme, like the Vine.
With Simon plus Lewis.
21, Tony. You stupid.
No, I'm not. Well, swows.
Well,
Plus 9 plus wows.
last time, Ross was not here.
I was not.
Ross got racism poisoning from watching that episode. And
Yeah, it was really bad. I had to tend to his wounds. It was really bad.
It was really, we had to get an EpiPen.
That was really, really fucked up episode. It was just sad because Zombie Granny Bacon, that was such a great moment, and then we had to instantly follow that up with
The most racist
2011 racist caricature.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this time that won't happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mill isn't here today because of the poisons and the illness.
It's true.
Yeah.
So
It spread through the air.
So,
Yeah, the late
as a
onset
guest,
racism poisoning.
as a guest star, we have the Sans plushie my friend bought me off of Fangamer. He's sitting in for Mill today. He's not going to say anything, but he'll be there.
Sans has
He's
taken
our
a vow
manager.
of silence.
Yeah, he's taking Mill's vow of silence for them.
It's really
Literally.
nice. So, part 13 is called The World's Strongest Dwarf.
Oh, I hope he's the strongest dwarf.
I fucking hope. Zombie Granny Bacon
Honeydew
splash
strongest
art.
human.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
He's not strongest human, he's strongest dwarf.
it's
Yeah.
true.
Lewis
I should
sure
really
as shit
make
is
that.
not the strongest human.
Oh, for sure. No.
Absolutely not.
I assume there's no credit for the Zombie Granny Bacon. I just assume it's Duncan if there's no credit. Because
Yeah.
elsewise, who could it possibly be?
Yeah.
They bid their farewells to that character that they were hanging out with last episode, who I don't seem to remember the name of.
It's like I had
And-
a weird amnesia. It's like suddenly it was really dark and then we're back. It was weird.
They get jump scared as soon as they climb up by Mr. Banjo, who's now,
Now a funny
instead of a
clown.
gorilla,
Joker!
he's a joker. He's the jokester.
Why so
They're
serious?
so rude to Mr. Banjo, who is my favorite character.
Oh yeah.
Simon literally says, "Why so serious?" Because the Dark Knight had just come out 2 days ago or something.
It was pretty good. I chortled at that one actually.
It's
but
a-
I'm easily entertained.
It's a
I'm
pretty
the easy
unironically
chortler.
good voice for Mr. Banjo.
It's
That they give him.
It's a nice Simon voice we haven't heard before. He's not running out of voices.
Yeah.
He says, "Hello, hi everyone." Simon tells Lewis,
Hello.
if he asks you if you want to see a trick, just say no, not interested. I love
Really
the
good.
Dark Knight.
Oop, hold on. Somebody's knocking at my door.
They are quite rude to him, Birch. They're very afraid of him, despite the fact he's done nothing to harm them.
He has
ever.
done only kindness to them.
He's only been a friend.
He's the least problematic guy at this carnival, by far.
I mean,
He's
it's
just
not a
a
hard bar
funny
to
clown.
do, but he's a funny clown.
Simon says, he looks like a serial killer.
No, he
He
doesn't.
hates whimsy.
Stop it.
He hates whimsy.
Lewis comments that he looks like Simon's IRL skin with the glasses, which is, you know...
Roasting his friend. It reminded me of like when you
Who's
like
saying
talk
all
to
that-
people. It's like he's like, haha, you look like that ugly fish, haha. You know you do to your brother. That's what I do.
I thought
toy.
he was calling him a clown.
Ooh.
So you're
Roasting.
saying I look like a serial killer? I don't know. What else
I
is
don't
there?
know.
Good deflection. Moving on.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't know what I mean by that. He invites him to the excitingest bit of all of this. It's a word. And
I
they
promise.
go over to strongman Bruno, a shirtless bald guy with a handlebar mustache. Comments what a manly man he is, and then sings the Macho Man song. But then
man.
Bruno says, "Tiny dwarf, you look as strong as little mouths."
Very, once again, very good voice.
He has
Lewis
so many
asks,
voices to tell us. It's quite delicious, really.
Delicious.
I meant delightful.
It's quite
I'm
This
hungry.
is-
delicious.
I'm hungry.
This is a very delicious episode, but this is a very special recording of the podcast because this is the start of me actually being nice to Simon. Because starting with me singing along to the Macho Man song in my
Yay.
notes.
Yay!
Lewis, in reference to the voice that Simon does, asks if he's like a cross between Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Heavy from TF2.
Which he's right,
I
it
never
does
TF2
sound like
mention.
it. Does sound
TFT
like that.
mention!
He sounds like both those things.
Get behind me, doctor! I can't do his voice, I'm sorry. Go aside.
Behind me,
There-
doctor!
oh, God.
You sounded like the medic saying it to himself.
Jawohl!
I'm sorry. On my
re-
On my recording, that's just going to be a brick of sound.
I
No,
promise
it's
I
not.
can
hear you.
Oktoberfest! Okay, that's enough.
Then he calls him a weak little baby man, which is the thing that the
Little
Heavy
weak
says.
little
So I
mouse.
guess Lewis is reading the
Weak
script
little
again in
baby
classic Lewis. He's saying, Mr. Banjo. Mr. Banjo says, it's not hyperbole. He's certifiably the strongest man in the world.
In the wall.
There was an investigation, and Bruno won the investigation.
He won the investigation.
I
Wish-
trust him.
I wish I could win an investigation one of these days.
One
I
day you
hope.
will.
That's what happens when you play Ace Attorney. You
Honey,
win the investigation.
You
That's
win.
so
You win in
true.
life. You lose
I
the
something I want to
investigation.
ask you about Ace Attorney lately. I don't fucking remember what it was. Oh, did you
Oh.
ever find out why that guy was coughing up blood all the time? Or did
Oh,
you
that
just,
guy?
was
No, I
that
haven't.
just
I
not
haven't
important?
serious
continued to
illness.
play that game. I don't remember what it was.
Is he coughing blood because you're not finishing the
Played-
game?
You won't finish playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I begin to waste away.
I was just thinking about it as like a random character trait recently. It's like, what anime character might I think of who just randomly coughs up blood all the time?
Yes, the famous character trait of tuberculosis.
Coughing
Simon's-
into a handkerchief quietly in the background. I've got the black lung.
Simon is sad that he was called a weak little baby man. His pride has been insulted. Lewis goes, well, you are a dwarf, which is mean.
Very mean of you.
That's so fucking mean.
He's still bigging up his guy, Mr. Banjo is. He can smash anything with his fists and head. Mostly fists. Honeydew defends himself in chat. To anyone? Say it.
I'm strong like moose.
I am strong
True.
like moose.
This is actually a subtle reference to Mr. Chief, the bit that I had once.
That is so
That's
true. Lewis is a bit intimidated. He's like, hold on there. He is strong, man, Bruno. He's really
I like
strong.
they kept fucking with him, and then every time they were like, he was moving around, they're like, oh my god! Because, like, they kept poking the bear, and then, like, he would move around, like, because he would be, like,
They're very
threatened by
scared.
this.
He's strong, man. He's a strong guy.
I'm strong like Moose. Don't hurt me. I'm just a little British boy. Don't
Just a
hurt
little
me.
boy.
I'm just a little boy.
Lewis fail RPs refers to Honeydew
yeah.
as Simon in chat. Yeah!
They don't know who Simon is. They only know Honeydew.
That's his
Careless?
secret name. Only his
Ooh,
closest
fail
friends
RP.
are ever allowed to utter it.
And now you
That's
have
his
to
Fremen
tell the
name.
world what's wrong with you, Lewis.
That's his
Now
Fremen name.
Now Strongman Bruno can use the death note on Simon.
Help! I like the idea that after the events that happened, that he did really just use the death note.
Why? There's no reason to. He
For
has no
fun.
cause for defense.
I-
He just hates him.
I think it'd be funny. I think we should let him cook, personally.
Simon
It'd be
is
fun.
accepting the test of strength. Simon realizes he's wearing little pink pants, and it's like his 2011 homophobia smells blood in the water.
Literally,
Oh.
God. I was just like, God, shut the fuck up. I sped it up immediately. I was like, not again.
He calls them ladies' pants. That's what strongmen wear.
And Lewis is right.
Right.
That is just what, like, circus strongmen wear.
It's called a Speedo, you uncultured swine.
I feel like
called-
often, well, no, yes. Singlet is pretty classic, but with the trunks, you can show off all of your bulging musculatures
All your abs.
Yeah.
without any
Yeah.
problems.
His
His
trunks.
six-pack of pixels.
It's his tronkles.
Oh my God, it's
and they go on
Tronkles.
stage. And it's been started. Simon's like, oh my god, what's going on? He's really scared.
He's so scared.
He's very scared. And you're not gonna believe what happens next.
It's a cute little stage build. I like it.
Mm. I think it's very silly. I think the whole, like, this bit upcoming was very good. Because it was just kind of, like, they didn't really have to happen, but that was kind of mostly the episode of just them fucking
It's
around
this
with
weird
Strongman.
filler arc.
I
Yeah.
kind of like it, especially after the last episode that submerged me in darkness and pain. It was kind of like, oh, by the way, we're attacking things and we're doing contests. Yay!
Yay!
And then it continues. Yay!
Yeah, and then there's
The
oh my
Cake
God,
Smasher.
Jesus, send me back.
I got scared when he had to like take off his armor to do the thing because I was like, I hope it doesn't despawn
that's
by
also
the
why I
time
was
this
like-
is over.
And then it did.
Ah.
It did. It
I-
did despawn, and then Lewis blamed it on carnies
That
stealing
was
their
so
things.
mean. That was so cruel. I was
because
saying,
you
like, how
decided
could you
to
do
not
this?
pick up Simon's
Because
stuff.
Lewis's inventory is full of garbage instead of the important valuables that he could have held. Oh, Lewis, you're constantly fumbling.
Literally.
He's in the World's Strongest Man competition. Bro thinks he's Homestar Runner.
He's not a terrific athlete!
Bro thinks he's the Homestar Runner.
Bro thinks he's a
Yeah.
terrific athlete.
It's a little tub of dust you can slap your
You-
hands on.
You think you're the Homestar? You ain't even the Coach Z.
The Honeydew Digger wins the World's Strongest Man competition. A book by Simon and Lewis.
Everyone loves the Honeydew Dwarf. He is a terrific miner.
True!
He is a terrific digger. Diggy
He,
diggy hole.
he casts off his foresty warrior armor and /me flexes in the chat.
It's
I
so-
like how whatever server they're using has like /me
Yeah.
functionality.
That's the best.
Yeah.
That's supreme RP.
Bruno says he looks like a little Bobby.
It's
Simon
Bobby.
is so insulted. The first test of strength. Nothing has been explained, so Simon's standing there is like, do we fight or what?
I was really hoping he was gonna fight. I was actually kind of let
I was
down
hoping
when
he
it
like
wasn't.
started beating Bruno to death and he killed Bruno. And they had to improvise.
Literally.
I thought that was gonna happen for a moment.
The rules are that he has to smash everything Bruno smashes. Fists only. Block breaking competition.
Back-breaking competition.
Round 1 is cake. Then
The
they
Cake Smasher.
they get in position and then they get ready. But he said something that sounded a lot like it was the start of the contest, and Honeydew jumps the gun. He said something that sounded like go, but it was just like the theatrics to build suspense.
Yeah.
So Honeydew
let the
destroyed it.
let the strongman competition begin or something, but he didn't do the ready steady
Yeah.
go-y.
He didn't say go.
Yeah.
Honeydew, so he just breaks it and he just goes, I won in your face!
That was
In
really
your
fun.
face.
False start, dingus.
You will
He
be
owned
penalized
him.
for that.
Oh yeah, no, after they reset it, it's a little awkward. They're like, well, we have bonus cakes. He still breaks it faster, and Lou's like, you owned him!
He's so fucking funny. Why did he have to say it like that?
Simon gets his get back. You are weak like little Babby. But Bruno goes, nom nom, nom.
Too
and
busy
says-
eating to care. Honestly, king.
He says this is tasty round. Taster's choice.
It's true.
Taster's choice.
Round 2, pumpkin. It's a stack of 2, of 3. The triple pumpkin, no less. Simon and Lewis are awed. Lewis can't even see the competitors from behind the stacks of pumpkins.
Yeah.
They're so tall. Bruno gets an early lead, breaking those pumpkins, but Simon catches up. How'd you like that, bitch? In your
He
face.
In your
was so
face.
mean. He's not a good sport. We have to cancel him for this.
He's a little evil. I mean, Bruno was talking trash, so
They're
you
both
know,
trash.
this is-
However, I thought it was fun. That's true. He was like, when they started whipping out the bitch.
When the
I was like,
contest
damn,
started,
okay.
who do you think was gonna win? Did you believe in Simon?
No.
I thought they were gonna let him win for the story beat of it, but I honestly it was really funny during this part of the episode was like the day that we almost recorded, I took the first part of my notes and then I just couldn't. So we
Mhm.
so that was where I picked it back up. So I was reading back through them and I was just like, pumpkins, I know a band like this. This is a Smashing Pumpkins joke. And I've noticed, like, oh yeah, Bruno's character model has his hand out like he's holding something, but it doesn't show up.
What the?
I didn't
Hold on a
notice because I'm kind of stupid, if you guys didn't know this.
And then the first note that I had after I came back to it was, wait, did Simon win, actually?
I thought they were using
He's so
potions,
strong.
even though I don't think potions were in the... No, were they? I don't remember.
No potions. No
Yeah,
potions
potions.
are a years away.
Yeah, I was like, I think potions are way later on, so I couldn't remember how they did this. So it was just like...
Because otherwise they wouldn't have had to use a bucket full of water and a few apples and dirt for the potion that they gave to Old Peculiar.
I guess so. But, like, what if they wanted to do their own spin, okay? What if it was, like, ingenuity? You don't know.
I think Bruno roars at this part. I
Yes,
don't know why I
I'm
wrote
fairly
rar.
He roars.
Rawr. Oh
I
yeah,
think-
no, because he types in chat RARRRRRRRRR.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'm right. I think these rounds are just triviality, though. Like, the real stuff's only just beginning, I get the feeling. Bruno says it's funny to him. You are so small. It's funny to me. It's just literally heavy lines.
Yeah.
It
Why
was
does
pretty
he
good.
mock me? I don't like it. Simon puts up a big show in text, but in voice, he's like really phased. It kind of just goes to show the shells and the masks that we wear in society.
True.
I hope I don't sound stuffy and fucked up. Like, I don't want to do it if I sound awful and gross. And I was hoping that I really wouldn't be all stuffed up, because I'm usually not.
Yeah.
Gina's been suffering the curse of the sickness these last few months. I'm, like, positive, like, you're being, like, infected by this fucking YouTube series.
What's
The
the
taint of Israphel!
No! In the chat, Honeydew says dwarven supremacy. So, whoa there.
You can't say that, little white boy.
I know
Yeah.
what we were doing last episode, but I thought we could put that behind us.
Yeah, literally. You can't be saying that, dwarf boy.
But now's the time for the real challenge.
The
Luz
real
doesn't think those rounds count at all. You're gonna have to carry a massive granite boulder.
The Sisyphus
stone.
challenge!
Solid stone he must smash. Now we're talking. He has
Fuck
to punch it.
yes.
This is too easy. Let's make it more interesting. Bruno starts placing more blocks of stone.
Oh my
I
god.
thought it was fucking crazy. I was just standing there
He
like,
creates
oh, okay.
a wall of stone on his block of the stage. 8 extra blocks. Simon tells Lewis to watch him so he doesn't cheat. Bruno brags that he can smash 10 faster than Simon smashed 1, which is not true.
It was
But
not.
It's not true as you might think, because he actually beats the shit out of all those rocks.
It
He
was
destroys
crazy.
them. He pulverizes them. It's a photo finish, and Simon, in truth, is very just ahead of him. But the referee, Mr. Banjo, and I have no reason not to trust Mr. Banjo, so
Yeah,
he announced that
Yeah.
Bruno is the winner.
I trust him.
I think it's accurate.
Honeydew swears in the chat and censors himself.
That was
Fucking
really
Yeah.
funny.
what?
I remember seeing that. It made me laugh. I was just like,
You
already said
dirty
bitch.
little cheating bastard! Take this! He hits Mr. Banjo!
I was like, why did he do that? That scared me. That scared me.
This is scary. This is scaring me. I'm scared of Simon now. I don't like
Literally.
Simon
I
anymore.
don't
He
like
scares
Simon, and I hope they take him
Literally.
away.
Send him to the dungeon for the rest of his days.
Can we have that actual voice clip in the episode, please? Send her to the dungeon for the rest of her days.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Aww. Oh well.
Converting that one clip into an MP3.
You have to bit crush it into like JPEG mode, so it's like so that's like that episode.
So he wins. Bruno wins, and Mr. Banjo gets hit, and then Mr. Banjo says, "There will be no punching." Bruno, punch him.
That was really good. I was just like, honestly, it was fine though because like he needs to get back, but he won't punch. He's a better
He'll
person
sick
than
Bruno on you.
And shout out to Milnak, who couldn't be with us, but I have it. According to random Tumblr user, Mr. Banjo was actually played by Rithian of Blackrock Chronicle fame, which must be why he's the best character.
That is why he's
Wow.
Yeah.
I know Rithian from
the
Birchmere.
actual role player.
I was about to say famous Butch.
Bad news, though, for all of us. This Tumblr poster also alleges that the Sips playing Granny Bacon rumor is baseless, and that the person who actually played Granny Bacon was Shin.
I don't know who that is.
He
The
was
shitty
the
one.
one who got kicked out for sex scandals.
Whoa! That's no good. You can't do that, white. I don't know. You can't do that,
can't
Minecraft
do that,
boy.
British
He was a
YouTuber.
white boy. He was a
You
white
can't.
Sorry,
The only-
my first thought
this
is you
is-
can't see saying that white baby every time.
And luckily, he was the only problematic Minecraft YouTuber that ever gotten.
I'm
any
so
sort of
glad
drama
I'm glad.
That no one else was ever problematic ever again.
boy. I'm glad no one ever did anything bad. And everyone was
Nothing
good.
bad ever happens to Minecrafters.
Bruno's like celebrating himself, and he's like, "Let me prove it with the last round." But then he like notices what Mr. Banjo said. He turns and looks at Simon, who runs away. Lewis says he caused aggro in the carnival.
Funny way to put it, honestly.
Me when I
What
take
WoW
the police
players-
officer's gun.
I've caused aggro in the police precinct.
Oh
Such a fucking funny thing to say when you've upset someone.
You caused aggro.
God, Simon apologizes. I got a bit leery there. I apologize. I don't know what he means by that. It's time for a silly song with Simon.
The part of the show where Simon comes out and sings a song about digging a hole.
True, we literally did. They did a segment like that.
They did do that.
One more round. This one's for all the marbles.
All the marbles.
Round
All
4.
to marbles.
Furnace. It's a big, heavy block. Simon asks Lewis if he's sure he didn't use a pickaxe. But Lewis is like, he's not holding anything. Look at him. And he's not. Look right at it. Look at his
It's
outstretched,
strong.
suspiciously outstretched hand. It's not
Yeah.
holding anything.
Again, I didn't notice it. I was like, I trust Banjo. He would never lead me astray.
Yeah.
It's true.
They're gonna, the start of it was like, we're gonna see who's the strongest man or dwarf in the world, but I already know Honeydew's the strongest dwarf in the world because there's a song about it.
Literally.
I'm
I need
sorry
to
I
make-
keep referencing the song, but it's my only joke so far.
I really want to make the TN strongest human, but with Honeydew's.
You should do that. That's the new thumbnail. We replace that epic, beautiful one with that.
I love that I keep
To
making
fit the
I
YouTube
keep making
thumbnail.
terrible YouTube thumbnails for you guys. You guys keep eating that shit up, and I'm like, okay.
It'll be awesome. I'll keep an eye on him to see if he whips one out. I'm sorry.
They
Oh,
had
God.
5 minutes.
I
Was it
also
like-
responded like that in real life.
I'm
See, it's
sorry.
funny when
Sorry?
we do it. It's funny when we say it, but it's not funny when the homophobic guy says it.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I don't think there's anything homophobic about the idea of him whipping it out.
Whipping it. It's true.
But-
Maybe love could win if they tried and believe in themselves.
Then I noticed that Madame Nebescu's here, really looking forward to her post-match pep talk.
Yeah.
But focus on the carnival fun. This video is so quiet. It makes everything so tense while they're waiting for Mr. Banjo to keep talking.
Yeah.
Literally so
The
funny.
immovable force meeting the unstoppable object, or however that goes.
Yeah,
And
that's how it goes.
Exactly.
And then it happens and it's over in like a second. Oh my god, Bruno just owned you!
That was really funny.
This is embarrassing. Like, he's jumping up and down, gloating as Simon slowly, like, keeps breaking the furnace with his fist.
That was so funny. I was just like, oh, okay.
Epically owned.
Epically,
But then
oh.
Simon
Wow, epic
activates
fail.
his brain and he says, if you punch a furnace, it disappears. But he obviously has cheated. You can see the furnace. He picked it up. He's onto them.
Oh my
I
god.
solved it.
He...
This is like a Swiss. It's a carnival trick. Oh, no, no, no. No, you can trust me, dwarf. I'm trustworthy. Just look at me.
You can trust me.
You
Like
can't
hell I
trust
can.
me, okay?
And then Lewis notices that the armor is gone because he didn't pick it up.
That was so funny.
And he blames it on the filthy carnival people. I can't believe this. It's like real life. The carnival people are all thieving bastards.
I like the idea of, like, in this for roleplay, they drop the armor and it just sort of sinks into the mud, I guess, or something. They're just like, what the fuck?
They said something about, like, if they something sick the dogs on us.
Yeah, they were talking about, like, sicking the dogs on it. What the hell?
Does this build even have dogs yet? I doubt it.
I can find out. I'll go find out. As we continue on our way,
I don't
I'll go
know.
find out.
It was such a good question that it turned Gina the size of a grain of rice.
Okay, it's not actually picking up, I think, on my end, but, or like your guys' end,
I
but I
can
am.
hear it.
There are a couple that are not coming through. I swear to fucking God.
This was just a little bit before dogs would appear. Dogs would be added on March 31st.
Once they were added, they were going to sick the dogs on them.
I like the idea
Yeah.
of waiting for the
During
dog
this
update
30
before they
days, they
upload
were
the
going to
video.
sick those dogs on them.
Lewis is now scared. He thinks that this place maybe is actually evil. And there were some people in the comments who I think believe that Mr. Banjo was Israphel.
No, you fools. He's
That's
just
just
a
another one of
clown.
his disguises.
That's like a funny idea to me, to be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm Israphel. I want to
Dude,
be
Mr. Banjo
guy.
entered... Israphel entered the skull, and who did they first meet? Mr. Banjo.
It's true, oh my
Think
God.
about it. Anyway, Honeydew is ashamed to ashamed all dwarves everywhere. And Lewis says, "Don't worry, those cheating bastards will pay." Dude,
They'll
what
pay.
What are you talking about? It's a little scary. Keep an eye on this guy.
Can someone put him down?
They do the little cool command thing again, Honeydew cries or whatever, but I didn't recognize the first time it happened, so that was the first time I noticed it, and I was like, oh, it's got a little asterisk by it like it's Undertale.
Me.
That's so true. It's just like Undertale. Nebescu's here. Lewis says that they'll have to get night. Lewis is saying that when they find Night Peculiar, he'll tell them how to get revenge on the carnival people. He thinks that they
Yeah.
have to avenge this slight. They didn't like lose any money.
That's so
They lost
funny.
a set
His
of armor,
honor.
but that's just
My
because
pride!
they're stupid.
My pride!
My pride!
Thank you,
My
Gina.
dwarven pride!
I'm imagining, like, it's the bit from the fucking, where, like, it's Vegeta, like, slamming his hands and the guy's, like, crying, but it's, like, Honeydew, and he's just, like, he's just, like,
didn't care anymore.
I didn't care about being the strongest dwarf. I didn't care about
I didn't
anything.
care about finding Daisy. I just didn't care.
I didn't care
And
about
that's
my...
when it happened.
So fucking good. We should be, like, making a podcast or something.
That would be so fucking cool.
And I
Madame
would be there.
Nebescu says that their friend the Knight is in great peril. And Lewis is like, maybe these guys are evil because they've been like holding us up and stopping us from going to Old Peculiar. I don't know if that's their fault and not
I'm gonna
your
be
fault.
honest. They went to the carnival and they're like, "Oh, mein Gott, I want to go try out everything." And then they went to try everything, and then only they were like, "Hey, by the way, your friend's kind of fucked up." Like, "Oh, right, our friend. You guys caused this. Like, you picked a fight with
little
Bruno.
bit,
I don't know
yeah.
what to tell you, dog.
He didn't need
I've
to.
got-
Well, he picked a fight with Simon, so I guess it wasn't Insidious trick.
You could have been like, "Oh,
Yeah.
no, thank you. I do not wish to partake in this tomfoolery." And you could just moved on with your life. But okay.
Wait, I love the fact that like, sorry, Ross.
No, it's fine. I just have a small little thing, to the tune of I Need a Hero. Where has old Peculiar gone, and where is Israphel?
True. Where are both of those guys?
True.
Old Peculiar could have been killed by Israphel in the time that they took.
Instead of pissing around, they should have been at the club. Whatever. Anyway, continue.
Yeah.
Gina.
I love this carnival, like, like, they didn't pay any money to
I
enter the
know.
contest or anything.
Banjo's
It was just for
kindness.
bragging rights.
Yeah.
Banjo invited them to his free wonderland, and they returned him with nothing but pain. I can't believe this.
Anyway, there's a cut. Honeydew asks where Verrigan's hold is. That's good. That's a really good question. And then she turns around and points at literally the castle that's right there and has been here the whole time.
It's such a funny fucking bit. I
Oh,
hope
boy.
nothing never changes ever.
Oh boy, Castle Quest.
They find another sign trying to stall them into playing a Bulls game, but they're like, we can't be distracted, Lewis. We can't be distracted.
You can't be distracted.
Fuck the games. We gotta get a move on.
They see the giant red cross on yellow wool, and then there's the establishing shot of the castle, and it looks cool.
The establishing shot!
I like the
It's
castle.
really
We see
good.
more of it in the next episode. I love that they used slabs, which gives it this very, the half slab, smooth stone, light gray one. It gives it a very fortified look. It's all sturdy.
It's quite delightful, really.
Also that it's been there a while. Wow. Immersion.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's night when it does the establishing shot for once instead of changing to a different time of day.
Yeah, and also there's
Yeah.
no end card.
It was scary. I
That's
was
a
like,
dramatic
what the
end
hell?
card.
Yeah.
Man,
That's incorrect.
the Madame Nubescu being there and saying her racist dialogue, it's a singe, it's a squash on what would otherwise be.
It's a really good episode.
It sullies, that's the word. It sullies an
Yeah.
otherwise pretty
It
iconic,
taints it,
memorable
it
episode.
taints it.
The taint of Israphel.
Ooh.
Truly.
The taint of the Yogscast.
Boo.
How are those episodes? Did you love the epic match? Were you invested?
I love the strongman competition. It was very good.
I love the stupid bit. Personally, I found it quite hilarious indeed.
Bruce, did you think Simon was gonna win?
I did think a little bit. I did think a little bit that maybe Simon would become the strong.
He was winning the whole time, and then all of a sudden, something changed.
Something
Whoa.
changed. Wow. I would like to snack, but I don't want to pick it up on the fucking mic.
You could
Oh.
wait 30
Yeah, we're already
minutes,
halfway
maybe.
through the episode. And also,
hungry.
episode 14's kind of small.
You have to endure.
I'm so
Uh.
hungry. I could eat a...
Yeah, a lot of people are commenting on the controversies. I'm sure you have some outraged commenters, Birchmere.
I didn't actually grab any comments yet for this episode.
You fool! We'll never know.
I'll never know.
I'm sure everyone was just like, he has an invisible pickaxe, because he has an invisible pickaxe.
The
It-
quality
tell
of
us,
funny
like-
comments has gotten lesser the more comments there are on an episode. It's harder to
Aw.
find
It's
like
like-
good stuff.
Quality over quantity. So fucked up.
It's like,
What I have to do is I have
I
to
want to say,
dig past. There's always 1,000 comments, like on the first several pages, that are like, no, I was about to say something, but it might be too crass to say.
Oh.
yeah, I'll censor it.
Go ahead.
The 1,000 comments are like, I cummed when I saw that this was in my subscription update box.
That's what people are
And I'm not
commenting on.
joking, I'm not exaggerating. They will say things like that.
That's what people
That's what-
today comment on Deadlock videos.
I can't lie. I like making jokes about clean up an aisle, my pants, so I can't actually critique it.
I loved the past tense of that being calmed instead of came.
I think cummed is funnier.
It
But-
is.
That's to say, Simon's absolutely right in that you can tell he used a pickaxe because he picks up the stone that he mines.
Yeah.
Good point.
And
I
that's
didn't even
also-
figure that out. It was crazy.
I think that also might be why he lost all those other contests, because he was trying to mine
A pumpkin with a
things
pickaxe.
you're not meant to use a pickaxe.
Oh.
That's why Simon did better than him in
I didn't
those
even think
ones.
about that.
You
He had to keep it out the
fool.
whole time, otherwise people would have noticed this change in posture.
Wow.
Yeah.
But they still fucking noticed anyway. So, you're busted.
Fuck.
Bust this Minecraft Let's Play wide open.
Bustin' makes me feel good. Sorry.
Speaking of which. Speaking of comers.
No,
I'm sorry.
okay, yeah. It was Cole... Sorry, what? Commerce? What?
Go.
Because Wirt said busted makes me feel good.
True. Okay.
I literally
understand that.
busted. Anyway,
And
continuing
it turns out that Israphel is just another costume of banjos. No wonder he denies evil ever coming through the carnival despite Israphel walking through before. And who was waiting for the heroes at the end of the tunnel? Mr. Banjo.
Whoa.
Cole Botman really getting into the theorizing in this one. I always love theories. I always love the speculation on what is happening.
I love me some theories.
Real.
Hehehe.
I love theories.
Here's a good old style comment. Okay, good. I'm not the only one who noticed world's strongest man Bruno was holding an invisible pickaxe and cheating. Honeydew won every round Bruno lost, which means he is the baby. LOL.
True. No one is saying this.
There's not a lot to say in the comments. I remember the iconic rivalry between Simon and Bruno, though. It's a pretty fun episode, even though it's clearly filler.
Yeah.
Read the Shadow of Israphel manga if you want the authentic experience.
True.
That would be crazy.
The anime just never does it
That
justice.
would be fun.
I'd love to see a graphic. Why? I'm saying they need to just make a graphic novel for this.
Yeah.
I think it would be cute and fun, and they could do. I mean, I don't know. There's the whole adage. I guess
Yeah.
people think Half-Life 3 is gonna happen soon now, so
Oh yeah.
maybe
Anything
they
is
will
possible.
continue this series. Who knows?
Anything is possible.
But
Who knows?
it's time for part 14. We're out of that damn carnival. It's time for the Tale of the Sands.
Whoa.
Yeah, it is a brisk 9 minutes. But
Yeah.
somehow we're going to get way more done than we did in the 14-minute episode.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, 9 minutes? What the fuck is that gonna even have?
It's story time. By the way,
Am I lagging?
I
Go
feel like the
outside.
descriptions used to describe what was happening in the episode a little bit, but now the descriptions are just please like and favor it to support this series.
That made me laugh in my heart of hearts, where I was just like, oh man, favoriting videos.
I
Where
miss
have
We
the
people
love
days
that.
gone?
Everyone down below, make sure to favorite
Make sure
this
you
video,
favorite all of our
please.
episodes
Give us
Give us
5
5
stars.
Give us
Oh my
5
god, was it
stars.
the same fucking time?
and recommend us to your friends.
Follow
at
us
the
on
playground.
Bing Video.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
guys
we're
follow
on
my
Vimeo.
the
MySpace?
Bing video thing was just the... It's just the Bing, YouTube embed. It's not like Vimeo. That's how I got around it.
Vimeo.
Okay, but we see art of Bruno flexing and laughing maniacally. They actually credit Duncan in the description this time, so I don't know if the last one was his or not. The
don't have-
mysterious ghost artist.
We'll never know.
It's really good Bruno art. Reminds me of Colonel Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist a little bit.
There were people in the comments who are like, this reminds me of Man from Full Metal Alchemist.
Help!
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full
Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist, Lewis.
True.
They
I'm
heroically
terrible.
ignore the temptation of the Balls game and walk up to the castle gates. There's a sign on the doors that reads, they're just wood doors, no scary iron doors here. Sand cannot dull my blade, Verrigan. A quote from the big man himself.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of majesty. It's dark and you can't really appreciate everything, but I think it's cool. The slabs are a good material. It's, a very fun, sturdy fort type castle build. It's
Yeah.
nice. It's fun. Another quote from Big Daddy V. Water, blessed water, how it cools my sun-cracked skin. Which was apparently what he said after the Battle of Tulip.
I see.
Also, he's the first Templar.
Verrigan Antioch.
Farragon, Antioch. Antioch,
name.
classic Crusader state. We all
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, we all remember it. I was there.
We remember Antioch well. Oh boy, do we remember.
Oh boy,
Uh,
do we ever.
Lewis jumps into the fountain to read it and hums and does not read it out loud. That was just for Lewis. Can you please
No
mind
one
his
else wants to
privacy?
know.
Please respect his privacy at this time.
They open the door and see a man! Templar
Ah!
underscore Adathon.
I like that name. It was quite lovely.
It is really cool. This is my cup of tea suddenly.
He greets them, and Simon reads it in a blustering, old, excited man voice that is the one and only voice that only I know, Professor Griswold. I know him!
Oh.
I know him!
You know
He's
Point
an
to the
adventure
screen.
map character. They would because they play adventure maps, and we really gotta watch some adventure maps sometime. It would be
Yes,
fun,
yes,
and maybe
yes.
even as like an extracurricular
I need
activity.
to figure.
But,
I need
like-
to try and remember like which ones were my favorites as a child, so I can.
But like,
recommend
there's
them.
definitely it was some adventure map where there's a guy called Professor Griswold, and Simon had this voice for him. It was like, "Hello, strangers. My nephew hoped you would come." And it's like that specific cadence. Professor Griswold, they like adopt
Really?
him from that adventure, I think. Unless the creator like gave them the character, I think they just sort of like adopted him into their lore. Spoilers, Professor Griswold becomes a canon character in Shadow of Israphel lore. He's like a real
Wow.
guy.
Wow.
And he said his nephew said that hoped they would come. Who's that? Who's his nephew? I bet it's Israphel!
Ah!
Simon says, I've run out of voices. That Bruno one was the last one before he had to repeat. So they get a better look when they turn upstairs. He's wearing a Templar cross on his chest. He's got a wrap around his mouth and goggles on his face. And he's holding an
yeah.
arrow, but I guess it might be meant to be a spear because it looks big in his hand.
Yeah.
He's the spear guy.
The
I
spear
had
guy.
like a cartoon moment of like like sequential like amusement. Templar Adafon, my nephew, the battlements.
Ah!
Ah!
Monkey D. Chopper. Chopper's D. Lopper.
Trogopple Lopper
Honey,
or whatever.
honey chopper.
Trifopple de Lopper.
There it is.
Honey Chopper.
Chopos.
Chopos. Blue Chopos.
Honey chop.
But they have to go to the battlement. Something's the matter. He's been waiting for us, hasn't he?
I don't know,
He's
chopper.
probably watching us and thinking, what the hell are they doing down there, pissing around in the carnival?
Yeah.
Lewis gets distracted, and there's sand on the roof. Sand isn't a good sign. I hope there's no sand
Scary.
in this episode.
Yeah. I had a moment where it's like, the sand! There's a hell gate near. Oh, it's just a normal desert.
But it wasn't a normal
But it wasn't!
desert.
It's not a normal desert.
Very cool, difficult to see reveal of this enormous desert stretching out before them on the other side of this massive wall. It's like
Yeah.
the height of the wall. And it's like this huge fortification, and the sand is like to the tip of the wall, and like the normal world is lower. It's like a dam, but for sand. Holy shit, son. Lewis always has to add son to the end of that.
Yeah.
Really?
You look odd, but what you see before you is no ordinary desert.
Oh.
Not an ordinary desert. This sand is a disease.
Yeah.
And Simon
Yeah.
gets scared and jumps off. He goes, ah!
On one hand, it would be so funny if they put a vine boom there, because it feels like something that they would put a vine boom over.
Yeah, what the
now
hell?
that I'm
Where
looking
was it?
back on it. But I was like, oh my god. And I counted that as me being proven right, of like, oh, it's tainting the world around it.
True.
Like, this is somewhere out in that desert is a hellgate left to its own devices.
I think that's absolutely the implication, is that
It's
this
gotta
is just...
be.
This is what happens if you let it go.
Yeah.
Yay! Ross gets the Thumble Theorist Award from the
I'm so smart
Committee.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a disease. It's a plague with terrible power. The light goes up and you can see the hilly expanse. Really kind of cool, like, canyons and hills and shit. Lewis looks at all this evil, tainted land and goes, wow, this is amazing.
I love
He
you.
Lewis is
understands the
always saying the
biodiversity of
wrong
the
thing.
desert.
He does.
Exactly.
I love that he just is always incorrect. Like you were about to say, Wirt maybe like the Granny Bacon gets killed, and he's like, "That was epic." And they see an
literally,
evil
exactly.
desert, and it's like, "Wow,
He's
it
just
is
excited to be
amazing.
here.
It
It's
is. It is like a feat." I have to wonder. I have to imagine they had world edit by now, because how the fuck would they have done this by hand?
Oh yeah.
through
They
pure
fo-
luck and love. I don't know.
Forcing Duncan and Shin to work in the sand mines for years.
Well, Shin deserved it, so I guess so.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, right. Yeah. Honeydew goes, "I wish you'd told me before I bloody went and stood on it."
He calls him a jerk, but I thought, like, I was like, did they censor the word jerk, or did his mic cut out normal style?
Really
Because it,
funny.
like, cuts out, like, the first, like, it cuts out the last 2 letters of it.
You jerk. Simon says, "I'm playing around in the sand. I'm making castles in the sand. I'm like eating it. I'm smearing it all over my face."
He's having so
Really.
much fun. Yay!
Making little sand castles out of the evil sand.
Reblog if you would do this too.
It makes me think about Chive. Why do you let her eat the cursed sand?
Yeah,
don't
I
like
don't
her.
like her.
Why do you let Simon eat the sand?
Let
I
him
don't
eat.
like him.
I love we reference Chive, and nobody knows who she is yet.
Nobody knows
I
who
know.
Chive is yet.
I know.
We know.
Short
Hooray!
contact like this is no danger to you, a man as stout as you. I think he means dwarf.
I believe. You
then-
know what? Sometimes we guys get it mixed
Lewis
up.
is looking out at the land, and then he hears behind him, "I don't think I can keep this up, Lewis. That's the problem." And he turns around to see Simon building like a bridge over the sand out of wood, like the
It's-
floor is lava.
It's quite
Yeah.
awesome.
Lewis is asking about Peculiar, but Daphon's like, "If it was not for this wall, the sand would spread like wildfire, choking the land till it died, gasping for life." There was a break. He said "ga" and then had to go sping for life.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. No notes.
Gasping for life.
Yeah, I was
Gasping.
about to bring that up. Me when I'm gasping.
Oh my god, I got lightheaded from doing the fucking Professor Griswold voice.
You've got to be careful,
Oh.
Gina.
Lewis and Simon are connecting the evil sand spreading with the portal all surrounded by sand. They're figuring out raw style. He tells them Peculiar went to mend a breach in the wall.
I think I say you went to med school.
He went to med school. He's Dr. Peculiar now.
Yay!
He's Knight Peculiar. He's Dr. Peculiar. Reverend Peculiar's next.
He's
Skylord Peculiar.
He's gonna become a politician.
Skylander.
True. Then, like, Simon, I don't remember why he did it. He was just emphasizing the bluster of, like, how excited he was. He goes, "We're all going to die!"
He was just so excited to share with the class.
He gives them direction, and he's taking his goggles off. Wow, his beautiful eyes. Exposed to the world.
Ah.
Wow.
He recommends they go to Old Peculiar quickly! But first, if you want to go learn about the lore, you could go check the archives.
Yeah.
If you want to take a real quick break.
I thought fields
I
and
have a-
RPGs.
Before they get to the lore room, I have a thing here. The fucking, the video of, "Leave the fucking city now!"
Literally.
I have, "Go find Old Peculiar now!"
You have chosen or been chosen to get fucked in the ass!
True.
Always and forever, you know it.
I love that video so much.
It's
It's
my
so
most
good.
favorite
Go back where
video.
go back at that fucking training. Go back where you fucking came from, you asshole.
I can get
Fuck you, Gordon Freeman, I hate you so much.
I like the noise he makes.
And they find the tomes. It's like a book, like a library, and the signs are just on the bookshelves. There's a whole lot of lore in here. It's exposition, Lewis.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's
a
the
big
lore
wall
room.
of text. How very interesting for our viewers. But actually, he was lying to us because the viewers actually get to see a cutscene.
Yeah!
Epic music, epic voice.
The epic, awesome guitar riff. We see Mistral City covered in sand. The Tale of the Sands. So, to break it down lore style.
Yeah!
Someone else, Wirt, book report. What happened? What was the story?
Fuck. Okay, so everybody's actually really old. I remember this much. I wrote
that was one of the things.
That's what I took away from this. There was a bunch of deaths and stuff like that and Templars, but honestly, I just took away the fact that everyone is older than we thought for some reason, because way back in the day, they were having fun. They were playing volleyball.
It's 100 years ago.
100 years.
Yeah.
They were frolicking in the fields.
And Granny Bacon is there, and Fumblewood
She was a granny as a young sprightly woman for some reason. Honestly, me, emotionally, I am also a grandma. And then, it got so hot, I think. I had it in my notes here. I think I wasn't responding or writing it down more, so I was like, what the fuck? Granny Bacon was old? I think that's exactly what I said.
She was old, this is true.
Which is like a funny thing to say, but you know what I mean. And then, it got so hot, everyone was dying! And then they were dying, and I remember it cuts to like, I know it cuts to the hospital room where people are lying in bed and dying. I thought that was funny.
Mm-hmm. Why are you so mean?
Because I'm cruel. I also like the scene where it's like the animals are dying and it's just the fucking the lands. It's just covered in like the spawn drops. I think that really got to me. It's reminded me. It's because it specifically reminded me of the fucking Minecraft story mode bit.
No,
Yeah.
Ruben.
Ruben! Revlog if you remember Ruben. Comment down below if you remember Ruben.
Patton Oswald.
My dad was watching, I think, 21 Jump Street the other day, and I saw Patton Oswalt there, and it scared me. Anyway, that not to detract the thing. And then, yeah, everyone was dying, and look at the sand, or they trapped something in the sand, I think is what they just said. I have brain. And then...
yeah, there was an evil.
There's an evil, and then they went to go stop it, I think. And they did it, but they trapped it under the earth? Under the earth. Sorry, you know. And then, they made they did it, they saved the day, and then they made a group to just in case it came back. But then one day the main guy just kind of up and left and just said, fuck it, goodbye. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then that was it.
We did get to meet Verrigan, the guy from the hold.
That's his hold.
Yeah.
He's bald, he has a big mustache and a scar over his eye.
It was badass.
There was also a robot there.
Oh yeah, the
There was
robot.
also he was there. This One Piece ass background character.
We are.
And his son, like, Jathar or something. I don't remember what his son's name was.
Jathar?
Far from
Carpath.
Carpath!
Carpath. Path for the car.
Where the fuck did I get Jathar?
Jafar.
You really missed Jafar. That's what it was. It's the honest truth.
Yeah.
Jajir, Jafar, wherever you are.
Yeah, they built a wall to encase the sand, and then an ancient evil rose up from the sand, and then Verrigan and Carpath Antioch slew the evil monster, and they sealed it away. Good job, guys.
Yay!
But in the final battle, Verrigan was killed, and we see
that's what
Carpath
that
come
was.
back. He was he's gravely wounded, and he was crouch walking on his way back, very hurt. Awesome sad photo snapshot of the gang all together. Who the fuck is Pirate Tin Man?
This is like the secret character that will be revealed later.
Carpath founded the Crimson Cross and established the Templars. So Verrigan was never a Templar because he died before the Templars existed. But I guess he's like honorary. Yeah, honorarily the first Templar.
Yeah, because he was kind of so iconic they did it because of him. So I guess I see where that's
But then after 3 months, Carpath mysteriously vanished without a trace. And the Templars await his return. That was really weird and that was really strange, Lewis. As I read out that story, I had this epic cutscene go through my mind. I had the same sort of feeling. I wish it happened every time I read something. This is interesting to know that they had the cutscene like before.
That's what I was saying.
Because they comment on specific things that they saw in the cutscene. It's like, this happened 100 years ago. And
Granny Bacon was there.
Then Templar Dayfon, he must be 120 years old at the least.
That's also, yeah, it's basically what I picked up. I was like, the fuck, Granny Bacon?
I like that Fumamore was an emo guy when he was younger.
Yeah.
We all been there. We've all
Shout out
been
to
there.
Fumamore.
Most wizards go through an emo phase at some point.
It's true.
true.
It's true. It's true.
They must be so old. Granny Bacon, she's going to be in her 60s, and that was 100 years ago. It's not how math works
Interesting.
exactly.
Not
I don't
how
think
that
she was
works.
she wasn't in her 60s back then.
She was a
Yeah.
sprightly young woman, and then she was just born with that name, I guess. Question mark.
It is funny
Yeah.
that it still says Granny Bacon. They didn't want to buy another account that just says Bacon or Young Bacon.
Young Bacon Warrior.
Give,
think that's her
give her a
first name.
first name.
Oh my
Bacon.
god, that'd be really good. I hope
Anna
so.
Bacon.
True. Francesca Bacon. Francis Bacon, but like the girl's name Francis. That's my headcanon when I write like Granny Bacon fan fiction. Her name is Francis.
Well, after we finish this podcast, I'm going to become a really popular fanfic writer for this series. I hope you guys understand. That is just the life
Sure as
choices I
hell.
wanted to make.
I am gonna write my adventures of Bob and Old
Make-
Man Peculiar.
I think it's like Kevin and
Yeah.
Bob, like the true faces
No,
of them.
Old Man Duke. Sorry, Old Man Duke and Bob.
Yeah.
My name is Bob. I made
Yeah.
the Sand Demon. Sorry, I wanted to make another joke.
I
Say-
made
I'm-
Israphel. It was hard to put the parts together.
I'm sorry, that shit cracks me up so bad. Okay, anyway.
I'm beginning to think Old Peculiar is actually one of the youngest characters in
That was
this.
the funniest fucking
That's
thing.
really funny. Honestly, literally, him and Father Brayburn, probably Lysander and Jasper, I guess.
Yeah.
We know Lysander's younger than Old Peculiar because Old Peculiar fought with his father in the Sand War, remember?
It's true. I'm really getting confused by the lore. I think they need to sit me down like a toddler and tell me what's going on.
And it just ends like very quickly after that. After
Yeah.
Simon's like, it turns everything on my head. I'm
Yeah.
breakdancing.
Yeah, I like to imagine that this guy can breakdance. I almost called him
What do
this
you
werewolf.
guys think of all this lore? Well, Wirt just said that it's too complicated.
In the sense that they're making shit up. I know this to be true. So I need them to be like, okay, so you call him Old Peculiar, yet he is the youngest. Curious!
Curious. Well, he was probably the
Peculiars.
oldest guy they met at that point.
That's true. Like,
Also,
okay,
he's not Old Peculiar anymore. He's actually Night Peculiar, so
It's
it is
true.
true.
Yeah. Sprightly peculiar.
Sprightly Peculiar. He's
This
peculiar,
is
old
really
man.
fun.
Birch, what do you think of all the lore?
It's really good.
I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I'm like ragging on it, but I'm having fun. I'm having fun!
Yeah, this is
trying to
the
understand
good
that
parts
maybe-
of Shadow of Israphel. Or
Yeah,
lore,
the story, the epic lore, the fact we're in
Story of
Minecraft.
Israphel.
It might be the best example of horror that I've ever seen.
Wow.
This
It's
is a
really
musical
scary.
episode.
A musical episode of Shadow of Israphel.
I would love
Between
to
the-
make that.
Yeah,
I
between
went on an island.
well, it's a musical episode of the podcast because
True.
because of me bursting out into song earlier.
Because it was an important
Uh,
part of the episode. You must understand. Thou must understand, Turnip, that was a quite a crucial part of the episode.
I have
that one shall
comments
sing.
here.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Billions must
Wait,
sing.
the cutscene was from over 100 years ago. That means Granny Bacon's over 100 years old, and Simon did it with her. Well, shit.
Fuck that old woman.
Let him live.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't care personally. I would be like, yeah, this improves my life, and I would say nothing further.
Hell yeah.
Uninvited trivia from this one YouTube commenter. The actor who played Tin Man is no longer part of the Yogscast staff, following accusations that he stole at least $18,000 in revenue from the Yogscast website.
I like the idea that they were making that much. I don't believe it. I'm sorry.
No, but if this
this is
means the
later.
character will not appear in any more episodes is unknown. I took that from the Yogscast wiki. Who
From
cares?
our wiki.
Yeah.
Not even his original thought.
Yeah. Not even your original thought. Doesn't matter at all.
Here's a theory. This person has read again. This person just read somewhere a theory that
Yeah.
Varrigan is actually Zephos from the future.
Honestly, I love... See, that's also the things with these theories. I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Why does that mean anything? Why is that important?
It means the world to me. It's part of the musical.
Like, who cares? He's dead. His
died
fate is to
badly.
go and die in the Sand War.
Me, that's
Can
my
Carpath
fate.
be Simon? Can Simon be his son?
I keep hearing it as Carpath, like the road. His name is Road.
True. There are like a lot of comments of people going, it's funny how the story of The Sand is so similar to the Attack on Titan plot XD in the fact that there is a wall.
I mean, there are many things with walls. I would have thought of Dune because of the sand and shit.
Yeah, I also thought
Another
of Dune.
person said that it reminded them of the wall from Game of Thrones. Again, because it's a wall.
Because
It's
it's
a
a
wall.
wall.
That's true. This reminds me a lot of that one guy who wrestled in WCW
Yes!
in the late
It's a
90s.
wall!
who did the choke
This one
slam
goes
from the
out
top
to
of the
you,
building?
Raz.
What? This one goes out
Yeah.
to our friend Rad's #1 fan of the wall.
Number 1
Yeah.
fan and beautiful friend.
And finally, a very poorly aged comment on a Shadow of Israphel video. Yogscast will never, ever be stopped. Once they start, they don't stop till they get it done.
That's a hilarious thing. Like,
Yeah.
and what's the response to that? They sure are making videos, I guess. Stopping at what?
Valve will never stop. Once they start, they don't stop.
True.
And that's our adventure today. The Tale of the Sand.
Wow.
Yay!
So yeah, the sand is a
Sand.
cursed evil. I guess it's never said like this comes from hell
Sands?
portals, but come on.
Yeah.
All sand in the world comes from hell portals. All of it.
I like the idea that
Yeah.
sand is evil because that's how I feel when I go to the beach and it's all in my fucking swimsuit. That's how I feel.
When it's coarse and rough and irritating and it gets everywhere.
True.
I'm the person who made the sand. It was difficult to get all the grains together.
My name is Sadman. I made the sand.
Omega, count every sand that's here.
Simon, count all the sand, please.
It's gonna take so long.
Old Peculiar, count how many sand is here.
He would say
Why
some
would
shit
you
like that.
ask him? No, Zephos would ask him because Simon go, why would you ask him to do that? He's
Literally.
gonna be doing it forever.
Ever. I
Well,
like the idea of this angry little dwarf. Just like, why would you make him say that?
he's always God. Yeah. Well, hopefully Old Peculiar isn't dead from Israphel, which really likely considering how long they took.
They were
to get
bullshitting. They
there.
were just farting around.
They'll
for,
get there and
ages.
Old Peculiar will be there with blood streaming from his eyes and he says, you left
You
me, you
failed.
forgot me.
They never. No, okay, I can't make that joke.
I didn't. Good.
You fucking.
Where's
And
my
then
wine?
Simon and Lewis get sent to hell where they can hear the trumpeting of the angels joining Jesus Christ's side of his throne. All right, well, that's an episode right there if I've ever heard one.
We'll have to get Mill's
good
thoughts when they
episode.
come back for next episode.
Yeah, I'm sure Mill has
Yeah.
some meta-analysis on what the
Oh,
sand
for
could
sure.
mean.
Oh boy, I'm
The
What does it
sand
excited.
is a
symbolize?
metaphor for swag.
the real core of the series is that swag is for boys and class is for men.
Exactly, Gina. No one else gets it.
So long, everybody. Goodbye. See you in the next episode.